Okay, this is reveal the fraud, pass it on. It's my shirt. Oops. Sorry. Okay, go the other way. Alright, this is reveal the fraud, pass it on. I'm gonna attempt to find the truth in the city of Fort Collins, which the truth is that the whole system is voluntary and you don't have to contract with it, and if you don't contract with it, they have no power over you. So I'm going to attempt to find an understanding, to come to an understanding that they have no power over me. So I'm calling City of Fort Collins. Again, trying to find the answers. And of course...
Good afternoon, City of Fort Collins. Aria speaking. Can I help you?
I hope so. Who legally are you able to help? You say you just asked me if you could help me. Who legally are you able to help?
That's a good question. I've never received that question before. I think anyone calls in that's a Fort Collins resident or needs city services. I'm just a switchboard, so I help direct people to the right place.
Okay. Well, here's my understanding, and maybe you could help me.
Okay.
The city of Fort Collins wields power over others. I think that's true, isn't it? I mean, you see them...
Are you speaking in terms of, like, being this subordination, that kind of thing, power?
Well, cities have codes and policies, and if you break those, then you're subject to, stiff penalties.
I suppose so, yeah.
Okay. So what I would like to know is which people do they wield power over? Because I believe that I am not one of those people that they can wield power over. I think I found the key of knowledge, ma'am. The key of knowledge is that this entire system is a corporation, and that the birth certificate and social security card are a contract that you voluntarily signed giving them power over you. And now the problem that I'm having is that they think they still have power over me. And I think that's a sin. And I think that's being withheld from the people so they could be free, because a lot of us cannot afford the privileges, so-called privileges.
I have a question for you. I can't remember the name of this person that I talked to, but my friend and I bought a bike from him, and he lived at a motel at the time and had a similar conversation with him. You don't happen to be him, do you?
I am him.
Oh, hi. What is your name again?
My name is Dwayne Brothwell. Did you get one of my cards, Reveal the Fraud, Pass It On?
I did, and I think I took a look at the website, so hey, it's good to speak to you again. That's a funny coincidence, or not.
Yeah. Well, I am trying... Okay, the problem that I'm finding is that once you figure out that it's a contract and it's all contractual, that now you have to fight the ignorance of city workers, which is the agents of the Matrix.
Right. That's very true.
And what I'm finding is that there's no truth in government because government is basically under the control of the bankers, and they're the ones that control this country. And that's why the truth is being withheld from you, and that's why the truth is being withheld from anyone who operates within this government, this bankruptcy, or within the realm of the birth certificate and social security card, because obviously if you understood it, 90% of the time people would not contract, because
Right.
I think that people love their rights way more than they love, you know, benefits and privileges that a system gives you. And it's not a bad system, but
Yeah.
what happens is people end up becoming a victim to it, like me, who when I was laid off from 3 jobs in a row, I was forced into the street, and the police arrested me for that, and I thought that was wrong.
Yeah, that's frustrating. Well, gosh, that's a good, it's a good line of thought and a good question.
Yeah.
What particularly about the system have you been having trouble with that you're trying to find out about?
Well, the truth is that it's contractual. That means that the entire country, I mean, this is to my understanding, that the entire country is a corporation owned by international bankers. It's a business. And since it's a business, there needs to be a contract to do business with the corporation. And
Right.
in order for that corporation to do any kind of dealings with you, you know, if you don't have a birth certificate and social security card, they definitely aren't going to give you benefits and privileges.
Right.
They
That's
definitely
true.
won't give you welfare stamps, food stamps.
Yeah.
I mean, you
Yeah,
won't
exactly.
you won't be able
Just
to.
finding a job.
Yeah. But then on the other hand, when you voluntarily not want to contract with them, then they force a contract on you.
Right, from the time that you're born, basically.
Well, there's no law that says you have to have a birth certificate. I already established that many times with the vital statistics and reasoning with the law, which ain't no big deal, but now the trick becomes in the wording. When an officer pulls you over for traveling in your automobile and he says you're driving because he's ignorant. He says you're driving, which driving is a commercial term in their language. So if you agree to that, then you're basically contracting, and then they say, well, you're driving without a license and you need a license, and then you go, oh yeah, I need a license, and then you agree with them, and then now you have to get a birth certificate and social security card and all that stuff because now you have to have a license to drive. But
I see.
but
Yeah,
if
that would
you're
be challenging.
if you're exercising your right to travel, then, through their ignorance, they still try to force a contract on you by saying that you're driving because they're ignorant. They're bankrupted.
Right. And it would be hard to get around that because of, the way
Well,
that everyone's been trained.
Yeah, well, it's not hard to get around. What the hard part to get around is that they have a gun. So
Right. Yeah,
now,
that's true.
they put all of the burden on you, which in reality they were supposed to be established by us. So now they're putting the burden on you, and they're saying, well, my job is I have to put you in jail now, and this is the process by which my job requires in order for me to get a paycheck. And this is all acts of bankruptcy because the paycheck comes from the bankers through the corporation called United States, Fort Collins, and the state of Colorado, owned by international bankers.
Right. Well, I'm wondering, not that this is going to be very helpful to you, I'm kind of on the same page with you,
Uh-huh.
but if you have more specific questions about some of the legal.
Yeah. Well, this is the essence of the question is,
Yeah.
who does the city wield power over? Because their language, now, a lot of times people are tricked by this language because they don't understand the legal language. It's the language of the bankers. So when I ask you that question, there's a law that says any person or any of this or that or citizen, those words have specific meanings. And in order to be one of those words, you have to have a birth certificate and social security card.
I see.
So
Yeah, I'm wondering if we do have a legal services.
yeah, I
team.
just called. I just
Oh, did
called
you call?
city attorney and spoke
Oh,
with Patty again.
okay.
And she doesn't like me because she can't answer any of my questions. Finally, she goes, "Well, how can I help you?" And I was thinking, yeah, that's a good question. How can you help me? I don't think you can. I don't think I fit within the criteria of you being able to
Yeah.
help me because
Shucks.
the only people that this whole system can recognize are people who are in contract. A citizen, a resident. A resident is someone doing business, to
Right.
my understanding. You know, like a
Yeah.
doctor has residency at a hospital, that means he's doing business at the hospital.
Mhm.
And when
Right.
we
Yeah.
have residency, we're doing business with the corporation called Fort Collins.
Right.
So, if I'm not doing business, then what word am I? Maybe you could you find that out for me? If I am not, here, this is hard.
It's tricky.
Yeah,
See what we
now,
can do here.
if I was doing business with the city of Fort Collins, and what I mean by that, if you were providing a service, I know you guys have papers that say request for service, and then you fill out your name, and then you're identified as a certain person through your birth certificate and social security card. Then now you're doing business because they're providing a service for you. What is this interaction called? Could you find that out for me? Is it called commerce? Is it called business? What is the legal definition? Because once we find the truth,
Mhm.
we're going to be set free.
Well,
And
that's true.
and I'm already free, but the problem is the government doesn't know that. That's the problem. And
Yeah, and it's tricky too, 'cause like at least in my perspective, I know I see there being a certain amount of submission to the powers of authority as outlined in scripture, but that's my own personal
well, yeah,
one, and I know
but that
people are more.
authority only comes through contract. You see, that's the details that were not disclosed on those contracts. And that's why it's a fraud, because we weren't given full disclosure of why those documents were created, what purpose they serve. It all happened at the bankruptcy of this country. And we weren't told that we're voluntary. Because, see, our forefathers, they said, at the revolution, sovereignty devolved on the people, and they are truly the sovereigns with no one to govern but themselves. And we established the government, but after the bankruptcy, they established the citizen. And the 13th Amendment says there shall be no more slavery or involuntary servitude, which is 100% correct. But we're voluntarily giving our servitude through the birth certificate and social security card, and that is the fraud. And that's according to the 14th Amendment. Any person born, naturalized, or under the jurisdiction thereof are citizens of the United States, which United States is a corporation, and a citizen is of the United States Corporation, which at the founding of our country, the government that was not a corporation was of the people, which is why we would control the government. But after the 14th Amendment and the bankruptcies, now through the birth certificate, we are of the United States. In other words, they control us.
Right.
So,
Hey, Dwayne, I'm wondering if I should get you over to, because it looks like city attorney is a different department than legal services.
no, it wasn't
Not that they
legal
can help you that
services.
much,
It was
but
a lady named Patty, and let me see if I can find it. I might have it here still.
yeah, if you have her number, I'll match it to this.
Yeah, her number was 221-6520.
Okay. Yeah, this one is different, and I
Okay.
don't know that they would be able to help you, but
Yeah.
I'm just general switchboard here, and I feel you, and I have the same view on a lot of stuff as you do, but
Okay.
I don't know that much that I could help you, and I gotta get clear here so I can take some other calls too.
Okay, what is the number?
That is 493
Okay, hold on. 493
2891.
2891. Okay, I'll give them a try.
Before you go, remind me of what your YouTube channel is called, because I do want to look up videos and I don't know where I put your business card.
Okay, well, it's Reveal the Fraud, Pass It On. That's my Facebook.
That's right. Okay.
And you can go on there and you know, check it out. And then my YouTube channel is Mystery Babylon Finally Revealed.
Okay, Finally Revealed. I will take a look at that because I have not done that yet.
Okay.
But, you know, I really do hope that someone can help you, and I'll be interested to know what you find out.
Yeah, I think it would be the equivalency of saying, can bankruptcy help me?
I see. Okay.
All right. Can a black hole give me my life?
You know, that is a very good question.
Right. Okay.
Oh, gosh. Well, hey, it's great to talk to you again,
All right.
and, you know, bless you, sir.
God bless you. Bye-bye.
Bye.